Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Slab for Wednesday, November 23rd, 2022. I'm Nate, and I'm here with your sports card rundown. If you like this video, please click the like and subscribe button. Helps us get this video out to more card collectors like yourselves. All right, we've got a two-topic Daily Slab today because one of the topics is probably going to run long. And so let's start off with the first topic on what's happening. Is the first topic today, and it's really a question of the day. And the question is this: what does legend status entail? And the reason I asked this is because Aaron and I got into a discussion yesterday, today as of this recording, but yesterday when you're watching this, and it was about legend status, particularly of Olivier Giroud, the French soccer player. Aaron called him a legend at Chelsea and a legend at Arsenal. And I said, can a guy be a legend if he's only played 4 years at a place, Chelsea? And he said, yes, because he won a lot of, he won the UCL and everything else with Chelsea. So he is a legend. And he's like, it's like Drew Holiday is a Bucks legend because he won a championship with the Bucks. And I said, well, if Drew Holiday is a Bucks legend, which, okay, what is Giannis? Because if Drew Holiday is a legend, Giannis is more than a legend, right? If they're both legends, then it kind of dumbs down what Giannis meant to the Bucks and what Giannis's contributions to the Bucks were. Drew's an amazing player, don't get me wrong, but if he's a legend, Giannis is something above that, and I don't have a word for it. And I think it comes down to, we discussed that legend in the UK is like you beast in America. You call somebody a beast, right? Everyday lingo where it doesn't really mean what it might mean in America. Like when I think legend, Packer fan, Bart Starr is a legend, right? Bart Starr is a legend. Aaron Jones is a very good player. Or Bart Starr is a legend. Jordy Nelson is a very good player, right? That type of thing. Even though Jordy Nelson was amazing, won a Super Bowl with the Packers. And so I kind of want to know your guys' thoughts. If you have them, please share them in the comments below, because I am curious at what makes a legend for a team. Because, like, personally, I don't think a guy can play 4 years, no matter what he wins. If that guy can be a legend for that team, then guys that play their whole careers and win a championship and stuff, it dumbs down what their achievements are. And so this was Aaron and my conversation, and I wanted to share it with you guys and see what you had to say, because I'm sure you guys have some good, you guys and gals have some good thoughts on this, where it's what is a legend? Because for me, I don't know. Can Olivier Giroud be a legend? I mean, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but it just feels like he hasn't played long enough to be considered a legend. All right, our trender for today, this is a tough one. Our trender for today is Zach Wilson. And you guys will have heard Zach Wilson's name in the news, I'm sure, a lot this week, and for not very good reasons. Not very good reasons at all. And so this past Sunday, he went 9 for 22. 40% completion percentage, only threw for 77 yards, threw 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But that stat line actually sounds better than what he had, because he threw multiple balls that should have been picked off that hit Patriots defenders in the hands, and they dropped it. So he was almost 9 for 22 with multiple interceptions and 77 yards instead of 9 for 22 without any interceptions. So he was worse than what his final stat line read. He barely got them into Patriots territory, and they only lost 10-3. And, Mac Jones isn't a very good quarterback himself, but he played fine. And the reason I bring that up is because the problem with Zach Wilson is that he played poorly, and then he passed the blame. He didn't take accountability for his poor play. And look, I'm not an NFL quarterback. I wouldn't be able to be an NFL quarterback. Nowhere near skilled or competent enough to be an NFL quarterback, right? There's no shame in being a bad NFL quarterback, because you're still an NFL quarterback. There's no shame in trying your hardest and failing, as long as you tried your hardest. But if you try your hardest and fail and then pass the blame and don't take accountability for your lack of talent or skills or anything like that on the field, it's a really bad look. Zach Wilson had a really bad look this weekend when asked in the press conference after the game that they only lost by 7 points in a game that he only completed 9 of 22 passes for. They only lost by 7. If they had Joe Flacco in here, and I know this is the year 2022, and I'm about to say these words and mean it. If they played Joe Flacco, they probably would have won that game. That's how bad Zach Wilson was. Imagine being an NFL team in 2022 where you think you could probably win a game with Joe Flacco as your quarterback. That's insane. And yet that's where we're at with how poorly Zach Wilson played on Sunday. And when it came to questions and accountability, he didn't take any. When asked about letting down the defense, yada, 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 he said no, he didn't feel like they let down the defense. And then he also said, and by the way, it was windy out. It was windy out. Not, I had a bad game, I played poorly. It was, I don't think we let down the defense, and also it was windy out. That's my problem. Well, Mac Jones threw the ball pretty well for it being windy out. He played in the exact same conditions. I would say that the Jets have a better defense than the Patriots, or at least on paper. And so you're going up against a worse defense than your counterpart playing in the same conditions and having a much worse game. And then it was just excuse after excuse after excuse. And the problem here is that Zach Wilson has a lot of people with a lot of money tied up into his cards. Right or wrong, smart or otherwise, there are a lot of people with a lot of money in his cards. And he may have just lost the locker room by not taking blame. Justin Fields took blame on Sunday for the Bears' loss, and the defensive players stopped him and said, nah, not you. That's not on you. And you get a guy like Zach Wilson who doesn't even try, could lose the locker room. Also, there was a funny tweet that I want to read. Over first 20 career stats, Zach Wilson, 70.7 passer rating. Jamarcus Russell, 70.6. 13 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Jamarcus Russell, 15 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. A little bit better there. Completion percentage, 55% for Wilson, 52% for Jamarcus Russell. Yards per attempt, 6.3 for Wilson, 6.2 for Russell. Wilson, 8-12 in his career. Jamarcus Russell, 6-14. Jamarcus Russell is widely considered the biggest bust in the history of the NFL, and Zach Wilson's stats are right next to his. Not good. Now, quarterbacks develop at different rates, right? We all know that. Quarterbacks, some guys are good the moment they step on the field. Some guys take multiple years to become a competent quarterback in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers didn't play for 3 years. And his first year, he went 6-10. His next year, he went 8-8, I think. And then finally, his third year, he went 10-6 and won a Super Bowl. So, it takes time to develop. And I'm not saying that Zach Wilson won't develop into a good quarterback. But if he doesn't take accountability for his actions and he loses his team before he even gets started, he might not have an opportunity at all to get that chance to become a good quarterback, especially if his team turns on him. And I don't know if his team turned on him, but I got to imagine if you're in that locker room and you have a quarterback who is just overthrowing receivers all day and you lose by 7 and he doesn't take any accountability for it, it probably does not sit well. And as for his cards, what's kind of interesting here is his PSA 10, his 2021 Prizm Rookie Silver PSA 10, decreased 44% in the last 3 months, but raised just a smidge there at the end in the last couple days after the game, which is kind of weird because I would think that would go down in price, not up after those comments. But we'll see where it goes from here, and we'll see if Zach Wilson keeps his job long term. If I'm a Jets fan, if I'm the Jets, you're stuck in a rock and a hard place between being a pretty good team and probably wanting to run a quarterback out there that might be able to win you games and also trying to build for the future, which is still Zach Wilson. So we'll see what they do, but hopefully Zach Wilson gets the memo this week. And the first step in the right direction of becoming a star QB is taking accountability for your mistakes. Lastly, tonight on Whatnot, we've got What's Brewing. So $750 of Prizm packs to give away. So we are giving away a box and 6 packs of Prizm 2022 Prizm World Cup packs. So check that out tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific on the SlabStox Whatnot channel. Should be a great time. I am looking forward to opening those packs and chatting with you all about the first couple games of the World Cup that have been played. All right, thank you everyone for listening to today's Daily Slab, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow for the next Daily Slab. See you, everyone.